Hello everyone, this is Ty Eden, Exit Realty Redefined. I'm sitting here today with Chris Winston. He's Chief Marketing Officer with Special Olympics Illinois. Just want to get a chance to visit with him a little bit and talk a little bit about what he does and what Special Olympics is all about. Chris, can you tell us a little bit about Special Olympics and how it started?
Sure. Special Olympics actually started right here in Chicago. The very first games were July 20th, 1968 at Soldier Field. The quick and dirty version of it is there were three people really instrumental in it. Justice Burke, who was Ann McGlone at the time. She worked for the Chicago Park District and had an idea for a track and field event that she took to the Park District. Then you had Eunice Kennedy Shriver doing Camp Shriver out of her backyard in Maryland. And then a third gentleman by the name of Dr. Bill Freeberg, who was doing work with the intellectually disabled out of Southern Illinois University. And then those are like three parallel tracks, and they all kind of converged for various means, which is a much longer story. But that's how the first games were developed, and it grew from there. So it was 1,000 athletes from 26 states and Canada, and now we're at 5.5 million athletes in 172 countries globally.
Wow, and you're celebrating your 50 years this year.
We are celebrating our 50th anniversary July 17th to the 21st. Again, the first games were at Soldier Field, so we asked the world, where do you want the 50th? And they said in Chicago. So if people want to go to, they can go to our website, soill.org, at Special Olympics Illinois website. There's a lot of great stories on there that are related to the 50th anniversary as they pertain to the state of Illinois. But you can also link over to the Special Olympics 50.org website to find out more about the 50th.
Excellent, excellent. Tell me, Chris, what were some of the biggest hurdles Special Olympics had to overcome before arriving where it is today?
I'd say the first thing that comes to mind, Ty, is, in the 60s, in the mid to late 60s, as we all know, who lived in that era, intellectually disabled children and adults were institutionalized and marginalized. So getting them out of the homes and out of the institutions and into the world through sport. And then what's grown from there is now we've got athlete leaders who own businesses, who run their own companies, who are public speakers, who write, who go to school. And through sport and what Special Olympics is and how it started in 1968 is used to build confidence in the intellectually disabled. Now they're
Contributing to society,
living on their own, and doing all those great things.
Is growth or expansion in the plans for Special Olympics, and if so, how?
Growth and expansion is always in the plans for Special Olympics globally. As we're in Illinois, one of our three pillars for Special Olympics Illinois is to grow our athlete numbers, which we do. We grow about 2 to 3% a year. We're over 23,000 athletes in the state of Illinois right now. To give you an idea, there's 250,000 intellectually disabled children and adults in Illinois that could, theoretically, there's more than that in Illinois, but about 250,000 of them have the ability to be, realistically, could be Special Olympics athletes. So we're always working to grow those numbers and trying to get them to become athletes and be a part of Special Olympics Illinois. But as you would imagine, income, accessibility, rural, all those things come into play depending on where they live throughout the state.
Right, understood. What are one or two ways Special Olympics promotes its services?
Well, we promote them through our events. We have 190 competitions in our state a year. As you know, being the father of an athlete, we do have a lot of competitions. A lot of times people will say, when are the Special Olympics? When we say, well, there's 110,000 competitions globally and 190 in our state. So we promote them a lot through our events. We've got a lot of great fundraisers, like our polar plunges and our Cop on Tops with our law enforcement torch run, our galas on the 50th. So we use a lot of those opportunities to get media to support those fundraisers, and through doing that, we get to promote our brand.
Excellent. How does Special Olympics benefit its participants?
I would say a big part of it is, as we talked about, it gets the intellectually disabled children and adults out of the home, out of the facilities, and into the world. Again, as you know, the answer to this very well, and I'm not saying it right, but 70% of the public don't know, just because they don't know, they find out that the intellectually disabled children and adults actually are more capable than they really are. And
I can attest to that.
Yeah, and Special Olympics, by getting them out into the field of play, they're like, wow, I can do this.
Right.
And then they go, okay, then I can work, and then I can go to school, and I can, depending on their level of ability.
Right.
And that's important.
Tell us a little bit about your background.
My background is I've got a brother who was an athlete who passed away, an older brother, David, who passed away in 1999. And I was working in the radio. I was in the media business and working in Chicago radio, and I started volunteering in his name, in his memory, and then worked for Special Olympics. I've been with Special Olympics for 5 years, about 23 years in the media business, which I was in the sales and sponsorship side, but as being media, it had a lot to do with marketing. So, and working for a chapter, Special Olympics Illinois, as you know, as any chapter would be, that we're really grounded in the grassroots.
Right.
And that's what local media does as well. So that's why ties to marketing really, really help. And I've got a fantastic team of people who help with that.
Who are the communities that you serve that take advantage of your services?
In Illinois, we've got 11 regions throughout the state that cover every inch of the state. I think it was 120 counties in the state of Illinois, I believe. I may be wrong on that number, but we cover every inch, every county is available. There are 850 agencies, and those agencies serve the local intellectually disabled, much like your son is involved with in one, probably an SRA in your area.
Right.
They're either SRAs or park districts or through the schools, and those are the feeder programs into Special Olympics.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
Taking this opportunity, what message do you hope to pass on to our viewers today?
The message that is really, really important is Special Olympics brought the intellectually disabled out into the world through sport. But now what we're trying to say is let's take it one step further. The message that we're trying to say with the 50th anniversary is about unification and inclusion. And it's not only about unification and inclusion with the disabled or abled, and like we say with the athletes, they're not disabled, they're abled, because there's got so many more abilities and disabilities that we want to see inclusion amongst the able, amongst whether race, creed, color, religion, sexual orientation. It's about inclusion, and it's about unification, and it's about, the whole world should be there for each other.
Right.
And that's the big message that we try to say through sport. We have inclusion, but let's take it, and socially we need to put our money where our mouth is and
embrace it,
and take it off the field and onto the streets.
Right. And
embrace that and really, really engage with that message.
Excellent. Chris, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. I know you're really busy with all the activities that you undertake each day. And for those of you that are our viewers, if you feel you got something from this segment, please share it, comment on it. We'd love to hear from you. Chris can be contacted here. He's in Lombard. And again, I'm with Exit Realty Redefined in Wheaton. You're welcome to reach out to us too. You can message me, and I can always get messages over to Chris.